recognize for his question.
Thank you. Secretary Moniz, interesting question. If you had to hazard a guess, would you say that a funding reduction in the funding of research in green energy or a reduction in the funding of climate change would have the most detrimental effect on national security?
They are so tightly, they are very tightly linked in my view, and I really can't distinguish between the two. They're both central.
So would an increase in funding research for nuclear energy waste storage, would that help us with national security?
Well, in the sense that it advances a very important source and a low-carbon source, yes. And in fact, our budget request does have a significant increase for waste storage activities.
Now let's contrast those two. Having your druthers, increased in research on spent fuel storage for nuclear energy versus a reduction, for example, an increase in funding research for climate change. Which of those two would you say is the most important in national security?
Well, again, in our budget, we have made a set of priority choices within reasonable funding constraints, and obviously we think that it's a good balance. And we have a substantial increase in the nuclear waste arena, and we have a strong program in terms of our part of the administration-wide global climate change research group.
Given the current world climate with a lot of terrorism going on, I guess you would probably agree it's kind of hard to power a tank with a solar panel or a jet airplane.
Obviously, there are different energy sources fit to different purpose. That's what a portfolio is all about. But I would stress, of course, that many different kinds of groups have supported the idea that climate change has enormous national security implications, and that includes many retired four-star generals and admirals. And I fully support that position.
Sure, in terms of energy, nuclear research, and having a strong, reliable, affordable energy source, nuclear energy will help that right now, and we need a lot of good clean energy right now. Was that your assessment?
We strongly support nuclear as part of the portfolio. Okay. And if I may add, Congressman Weber, that not only is, I think, having a stronger nuclear industry in this country important for clean energy, but it's also important for national security in that it gives us a stronger platform for advancing our non-proliferation goals.
So I take it you're a supporter of Yucca Mountain.
No, I consistently have said, the administration has said, we don't think it's workable. This is based upon the fact that I think the evidence is very strong, as the Blue Ribbon Commission pointed out, that you need a consent-based process to get over the finish line.
Are you familiar with how much money has been spent on Yucca Mountain and how much money is in reserve for Yucca Mountain?
I believe the total spent over the years is something like $15 billion, I believe, and the waste fund currently has $33 billion.
That's right.
Correct.
What is the answer for nuclear waste energy storage if you're not a proponent of Yucca Mountain?
Well, first of all, the answer starts with consent-based processes. And there we have strongly supported the idea of moving to at least starting with pilot-scale storage facilities, and we need congressional authorization for that. And of course, I think you know, in Texas, there has been a recent proposal for a commercial storage facility, which is very interesting, and we look forward to talking with the supporters of that project.
Are you familiar with the waste control specialist in Andrews County, the low-level radiation storage facility?
Yeah, the WCS. Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, we have stored waste there.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about LNG exports? You know, America's boom in shale gas exploration and production is allowing us to increase our supply and enhance our energy independence. We have the ability to export LNG gas to customers overseas. I have 2 LNG export facilities in my district. One has broken ground, but the other is still lingering with the DOE after having filed its application in October 2012. Why is it taking such a long time for the DOE? Why are they delaying these projects, do you think?
First of all, let me clarify. We are not delaying these projects. Frankly, we have no projects right now to act upon because these projects have not had their EIS go through FERC. So we have approved several projects for 5.7 BCF per day. There are 3 under construction, actually. The first will begin exports in roughly a year, I expect, maybe a bit less. They say maybe the end of this year. But we've made it very clear that especially with our revised process, that we are, when we have the information that we need for a national interest determination, and that includes having the environmental impact statement, which we don't do, that's done at FERC. When the last one came to us, we responded to that in less than 1 day. So when the EISs are ready, and all of the data that we need for a national interest determination, we have been very, very prompt.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but I'm out of time. I'm going to yield back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We'd be happy to follow up with you on that, if you'd like.
Thank you, Mr. Weber. The